My paternal grandfather, Robert Anderson, was born on June 28, 1925, in a small town called Colfax, Indiana. Colfax is located just a little north and a little west of Indianapolis. His father, Earl Anderson, was a successful businessman, as he owned 3 grocery stores and 1 furniture store throughout his career. Earl Anderson was a very hard worker, and he passed that trait down to his son Robert in 1935 when he bought him a popcorn machine at the age of 10.
The women at the church had a popcorn machine. It wasn't very fancy, but it was a popcorn machine. And they'd quit. And Dad thought, well, that'd be a way I could make some money. So he got bought me the popcorn machine. I think we paid $10 for it. And then we set it up in front of on the street in front of the grocery store. And this was back in the days of free movies on Saturday night. I stayed at the popcorn machine, but a couple of the neighbor kids, they would take 10 bags of popcorn in a little basket. So they would go take it over there and sell it. And we sold the popcorn for a nickel a bag, and I gave them a penny or whatever they sold.
Robert kept selling popcorn throughout the rest of the summer, and then, by the end of the summer, he had enough money to buy something that not many other people in town had.
Well, I made enough money that year, that summer, on the popcorn machine. I made enough money to buy the pony. She was gray, but she had a white stripe up one front leg and just across and down the other end a ribbon.
Robert's love for animals brought him to a point in his life where he had to make a decision. Would he go to college, or would he be a farmer?
There were 2 scholarships for Purdue from Clinton County, and I got one of them. And I'd had my pony, I had a couple of goats, we had chickens, and I wanted a farm. It's just what I wanted to do when I was 16 years old. And so Dad said, well, you're going to try it.
Even though he had a scholarship to Purdue, he decided to be a farmer. So his dad, Earl Anderson, bought him a farm in 1943 when Robert was only 17.
So, but it had to be the poorest farm in Montgomery County.
Next to the port.
When he started farming in 1943, he used the only thing he had, a horse-drawn plow. Luckily for him, he didn't have to do this for too long, because he was living during the Third Agricultural Revolution, which, during that time, gas-powered tractors became mass-produced and wildly popular among farmers. Now that farmers had tractors, they were able to plant and harvest a lot more in a lot less time. After 3 successful years of farming, his father bought him a Farmall tractor. This is a picture of Robert working on his farm with his Farmall tractor. The tractor turned up a lot of dust, which was no good for his asthma. But his asthma ended up coming in handy. Robert was not allowed to go fight in World War II because his asthma caused him to fail the physical exam. During World War II, the government encouraged farmers to grow more by using propaganda posters like the ones shown. The goal of these posters was to be able to feed the soldiers over in Europe, and the farmers did exactly what the government asked. Another effect of World War II on farming is that rubber tires were rationed during the war, so farmers had a tough time getting tires for their tractors.
Well, the most important thing that ever happened in my life was when I married her.
Aww. Dances up here at the swimming pool at the clubhouse. They had a band on Sunday night, and we'd come up to the dance. Oh, that was wonderful. Then we got to square dancing and went to 2 clubs, one in Crawfordsville and one over at the Floor, the Indiana
in a roof.
In the
Indiana
roof,
roof?
Indiana roof.
Oh, wow.
And boy, it was neat.